Hello everyone! Welcome back to another action figure review, and today we're going to be taking a look at as you can see, the Transformers the Movie Studio Series Bumblebee, because I went to my local Walmart and found him on clearance. And I figured, alright, now I think I'll get it, because, to be honest, because of how small this guy is, I really I couldn't convince myself to get it at full price. And I am going to apologize because I have been kind of not uploading consistently recently, but I've been dealing with, work and some life stuff. And as you can hear, my voice is kind of because of allergies, but we're pushing through. It's been a minute. So yeah, we're going to take a look at this Bumblebee and see just how cool he really is. And for one thing, he is tiny, which is accurate to Bumblebee for sure, but he is... Like, look at that. I can practically palm this dude. So yeah, this is kind of why I couldn't really convince myself. You can see his little weapon storage in the back for his blaster. But this is kind of why I didn't really want to pick him up at full price. Sorry. At my Walmart, they had tons of these guys. So I figured I'll just hold off until he goes on clearance. And sure enough, he did. And I think I ended up paying like, what was it? Like $16 for him. So I figured, yeah, we'll pick them up. Because I do want to have a kind of certain G1 characters from the Studio Series. If you guys saw before I did the review of the Optimus Prime, I do kind of want to get a small team of Autobots, like my favorite characters from like the 86 movie, G1, whatever you want to call it. So I was like, yeah, gotta get Bumblebee for that. So you can take a look here. It's got some cool details. You can see like the little handle on the door. There's bumper and the lights there painted. Little Autobot logo here and here. Same on the other side. And on the back, you can remove this. You see those taillights. It's very simple. There's not a lot to it. It does feel very animation accurate. Back for G1, they were very, very simple. I'm going to take that off for now. I don't know how I really feel about all the black windows here. I mean, it's not necessarily the most accurate thing, but it does, it's better than it being clear or translucent because you'd be able to see all the robot parts in there. So, I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm kind of indifferent on it. Then you can see like all the kill with water, which isn't the worst. He rolls pretty well. Doesn't really hinder anything, but you can kind of see his arms there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the vehicle mode. It's Bumblebee. It's very simple. So I'm going to take a second here, get the blaster back on, and do a little size comparison. Get the box out of here. Because here he is, just to show just how tiny this guy really is. Kind of tilt down a little bit. Here he is with the Commander Class Studio Series Optimus. And as you can see... so exact. He is very tiny. Like, he's not even as big as Prime's, front cab section. Like, you can even just... And there's still room. He'd definitely be one of the figures that could easily fit in Prime's trailer. But yeah, that's how they look side by side. Here he is next to this is the Mafex Black and Gray Hush Batman. If I can get him to stand up here. Just raise up a little. Yeah, see, like, he is just teeny tiny. And then we have him here's him in vehicle mode next to a standard Marvel Legend. I just grabbed this one Iron Man I had next to me. So yeah, that's about it for the vehicle mode. Is very simple, very tiny, very compact, very Bumblebee. And it looks good. I do like it. I do overall like it. But let's get down to the transformation, shall we? And get to the real star of the show, which is the robot mode. Now, his transformation it's very simple, but it's really cool. I like some of the engineering and things that they did with it. So what we're going to do here first is tab this and just rock it down. You can kind of see it's got the hinge there. We're going to do that, and then his arms here, you can kind of faintly see it in there. There's a peg that pegs them together, so you can undo those. And then these wheels are gonna flip out just like that. So you're gonna look like this. And then what you can do from here is kind of basically just grab the front like portion of the car and just kind of wiggle it. There we go, yeah. Because it clips in weird. Because there's some clips you can see like right there. And then there's one that's like, where is it? Here. And then there's the two on the side. So it clips in multiple different places. You do kind of have to shimmy it a little bit, but it's not too bad. Then we just come down to the feet here. We'll split the feet and basically just pull them down and then flip these out. Then you can come around to the back here, untab this little gray piece, and then close it up. And then this, oh, hang on. There's this little black piece. Make sure this is fully out because this hole right there is going to plug into that tab there. So you can just plug that in there. We have a foot all done. And then we're going to do the same thing. Just pull it down, straighten out the leg, come to the back here, flip this out, flip this down, and then flip it in. Make sure this tabs in. There we go. And both of the feet are done. Now, we're going to arc that. You're going to use the kind of like, I don't know if it's necessarily an ab crunch, it's kind of like a reverse one. Just flip that up. So we got the chest out. You can rotate the arms so that they're both kind of bent facing you. And then what we're going to do is go to the back and pull these in and make sure that you can kind of hear that little, let's see if you can hear a little bit like that little like thooping noise, I guess you could say. It kind of just, you know, like locks into place. It doesn't like necessarily lock, but kind of like frictions into place. You can straighten out his arms there. And then we're just about in the home stretch. You basically just flip this back. Before we do that, we got to open up his chest. Pull out the head. Maybe. Yeah. This is very, like, this hinge right here is very stiff on mine. So you really have to work it. Close that up. And then basically, you have Bumblebee. And he looks really good. This is a really good representation of the of the G1 Bumblebee. My only real complaint, I guess, would be kind of the back a little bit. But considering I've seen what the Masterpiece Bumblebees look like, this is much cleaner, and I'll take that. And then you can do the same thing with his weapon storage. It's literally just the same thing. It's just that little tab there. You can just tab right into the back of the hood there. And there you go. There is Bumblebee. And like I said, he looks really good. He's got a little, not a whole lot going on here, not a whole lot of details. I mean, it's G1 Bumblebee. There's a little bit, like you can kind of see like here, some kind of like panels and kind of like details and whatnot. Basically on the feet. The head looks very good. Nice blue eyes, the silver for the face. It's really, really just a really good looking representation of Bumblebee. Articulation, you know, head is on a swivel. It's not on a ball joint, which is strange when I'm so used to Transformers having like, or maybe he is on a ball joint. Maybe he is. I don't know. I can't tell. It doesn't feel like it, but he might be. I don't want to try and test the water. But he gets a little bit of head wiggle. Can go 360. Arms can go straight out, full 360. That's about as, there's really no like butterfly or anything. That's about as far inward as you're gonna go, which I guess it's not that big of a deal, at least not for Bumblebee. I mean, it'd be nice to have kind of like a butter, but the way they did the transformations, you can kind of see it would be very difficult to do that. He does have bicep rotation. Single jointed elbow. It goes right at about 90. And then you can see his wrists are on a mushroom, so they can go full swivel as well. He does have waist rotation. No like crunch or anything. The only real like crunch you could kind of say he had was basically for transformation. Legs can kick forward that far. They can go back, wow, the whole way, just about the whole way. Oops, unpeg that there. He has thigh rotation. He can do the full splits. He can, and this is kind of tricky because of the fact that these hinges go both ways for both articulation and for transformation. it kind of gets a little bit tricky, and because of how these feet move, I guess you could kind of consider that like ankle articulation, kind of. But it does get a little bit tricky if you want to bend his legs. So you kind of have to like grab it and be, make sure you have a secure grip on it. But he gets to about 90 degrees on the knee bend there. Like I said, you could kind of like consider that, I guess, like a ankle articulation there. And then he does have like wicked, it's at a weird spot like right here, but I mean, it's ankle pivot. It's pretty good ankle pivot. It is kind of weird looking, but I mean, he has it. I mean, yeah, he's got a good range of motion for such a little guy. But I mean, it's good. I like how the Autobot design looks, and I do like how in the transformation the Autobot logo disappears from the one foot because of how they kind of rotate in. So I really do like that kind of piece of engineering. So we're going to do some more size comparisons with him in robot mode this time. So, all right, here he is next to the Commander Class Optimus in robot mode. And again, yeah, he's just a little guy. He is very, very little, which again, the whole point of Studio Series is to be on screen and scale accurate. And I mean, that looks very accurate to me. He's a tiny little, I'm going to give him his blaster since Prime has his. There, I have him holding his blaster. Little pea shooter. But yeah, that looks good. Here he is. Show him off with that Mafex Batman again. Which I will be doing a review on this guy at some point. I love this figure, and I really want to do a video showing him off. But there he is next to the more of the expensive import figures. 6-inch scale. And then we have him next to a standard Marvel Legends. But yeah, that's going to be about it. Time for final thoughts. So all in all, I really like this Bumblebee. I think he has good articulation. I like the vehicle mode. The transformation itself is pretty fun. The only thing I could say remotely negative about it is probably the price. I wouldn't recommend getting this at the normal, like $24.99 price tag. It does feel like I'm overpaying a little bit, but if you're able to find him, I don't know, maybe on eBay or like I did the clearance section of your local like Walmart, Target or something for like, I don't know, $16, $15, something like that. That feels a lot more doable to me. But I do like this figure a lot. So if you can get it for less than MSRP, sure. Unless you're a really big Bumblebee fan and just want the figure, then sure, go all out. But that's basically going to be it for me. I appreciate you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And that's going to be it for me. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Peace and love, everybody.